Today, or I guess more accurately, this season of the year, I would like to do something a little bit different. You know, there's this wonderful website called MyAnimeList where you can track which anime you've seen, and also if you have a very secure VPN, you could also rate them. It has some good parts and some bad parts, you know, like all things in life. A good thing could be that it has 3 times the users of Denmark, so it's quite a big website. But at the same time, a bad thing could be that if you ever decide to open it on your phone, the logo is in a lower resolution than the text below. Just some small little misses like that. Because of its size and its flaws, some very strange things have happened on there, and I wanted to kind of dedicate this video to some strange things that have happened on this lovely website. So just give me a second. So there's this anime called Serial Experiments Lain. If you've heard of it, I'm honestly guessing it's in the context of, oh wow, it was so ahead of its time. It's basically this very psychological anime from the 90s that deals with the blurry boundaries between internet you and real life you. So, well, yes, I guess it was ahead of its time. It's very confusing, it's very dark. Watch it if you feel like it, and if you live with people, that's awesome, but maybe not the living room for this one. I have actually watched this anime, and like most people have, I don't know what actually happens in it. I don't think any iceberg video on this platform could really save me from that, but that's not important. What is important is, while being like a fairly small fan base, they really tend to make their presence known in a lot of ways. On May 10th, 2023, MyAnimeList shut down for emergency maintenance. It was the absolute lowest point of 2023 for some people, I'm sure. I don't really remember what I did. Nothing, probably. I don't think it really bothered me that much. What I did do was stop and actually read the emergency notice they sent out, and it said, a malicious individual overwrote anime database information to modify all titles to Let's All Love Lain, which translation to all my fellow non-native English speakers. Some Lain fan hacked MyAnimeList and decided to change every single title on the platform to the phrase Let's All Love Lain, which is like a Lain fan's catchphrase. The fan also made it forbidden to rate Lain anything below an 8, which led to some very unique screenshots being shared around, and MyAnimeList shutting down for a few days, as you would expect. Now, there are some weird things about this, which let's just get out the way. Not that it's coming from a Lain fan. I would honestly argue that is the least strange thing about all of this. I saw the subreddit. There are some weird things going on over there. Like, Lain fans, can you just take a moment and explain any of these? Lain X Drive, Lain as Virgin Mary, Kanye Lain, Let's Take Ibuprofen Together Lain, Lain on the Skateboard, Lain's Country, Ballin' Lain, Lain as Jesus Christ, Lain as Saul Goodman, Lainbow. What is slightly weirder than the fact that it was a Lain fan is why. I would never hack a website, okay? I don't know the first thing about hacking, but if it was up to me and I could just pick and choose a website to control as I pleased, I would not choose one where the main thing you do is give anime a score of 1 to 10. I found 2 main theories as to why this person chose MyAnimeList of all websites. The first one is that it was some secret hero who did this to basically tell the staff that, hey, any asshole with LED lights and an IT background could flip this website upside down any day of the week. The second one is that it was Lain herself. Ooh, maybe a bit more of a conspiracy theory than an actual theory, but you'd be surprised the amount of times I saw it. But if it were to be true, it is very in character for the anime. If anime characters were real though, I think we would have some slightly bigger issues than MyAnimeList being hacked. Like, I don't know if you're any familiar with this little tiny baby show called Devilman Crybaby. All in all, I think this was a win for the staff. Those champs got it up and running in just 3 days, which I'm assuming it was 3 very stressful and frustrating days, but it worked. Everything went back to normal, everyone was happy. That's a lie, a lot of people really liked the hack, but the website was restored and has not been hacked by a Lain fan since. Probably the biggest feature on MyAnimeList is the scoring system. Just a simple 1 to 10 kind of thing. 1 being not that pleasant, but 10 being very pleasant. The actual way they calculate it isn't just an average score, it's actually far more complicated than that. I don't know what all of this means, but everything you need to know is that it's almost the average score. IMDb calculates it in the same way, but still, if a movie has 4 ratings and they're all 10 out of 10, then that movie will have a perfect score. There are actually 7,000 titles on IMDb with this sort of thing going on. No, you haven't heard of any of them. Most are from India, and most have about 5 ratings. But the reason the top 250 isn't just a Bollywood short film festival is because a movie needs 25,000 ratings to even have a chance to be put on that list. So most likely when Game of the Sexes 2 has 25,000 ratings, maybe 1 or 2 5 out of 10s have slipped in there and the score will be lower. MyAnimeList handles things a little differently. They're not really interested in a top 250, no, they want a list with all of the anime in all of the lands. But obviously when you want to include every anime, a cap at 25,000 ratings would exclude like most of them. So what could they lower it to? How about 5,000 ratings? It makes sense, maybe. It keeps the list like kinda legitimate while still including a lot of anime. How about 3,277 ratings? No, nice round number. It could work. Or how about 100 ratings? In theory, okay, I'm not trying to give anyone any ideas here, but in theory, you could collect 100 of your most trustworthy Reddit buddies and find an anime that no one on this planet has ever heard of or seen. Everyone gives it a 10 out of 10 at the same time, and bada bing, bada boom, it is now the #1 anime on MyAnimeList. And that little piece of knowledge brings us to fall 2017. The trailer for Pingu in the City just dropped, and r/anime, they're having their fair share of fun. My first thought, and I would assume a lot of other people's, was on what, planet is this an anime? This just looks like Pingu to me. And I am pretty sure he does not speak Japanese in it. Turns out it's animated by a studio who also made the first Slam Dunk. It's produced by a company who did a little producing here and there on all of these. So I guess it's an anime. Fast forward to October 7th and the first episode just aired, and I mean it when I say it. It is awesome. r/anime, they've already decided on their anime of the year for the next 2 years, but that's still all just going on Reddit. What's happening on MyAnimeList? Pingu in the City is having the highest score on the biggest anime website on this planet, but as you can see, it's in 3rd. That's because the list isn't actually updating fast enough to really shine a light on the new greatest anime of all time. From what I saw on Reddit, there was never really a plan to make Pingu #1, which just makes this story all the better because it means literally hundreds of people had the exact same idea without any sort of verbal agreement. Now the issue with this is while 200 ratings was enough for number 1, which is, you know, strange enough itself, when people realized what was going on and that their favorite anime had dropped a place, they did a little sneaky something called all rate Pingu 1 out of 10 so that it would drop in score. So when Reddit was having, you know, the best time they had had in years, Pingu in the city was falling in score. Looking at the stats 1 month later will tell you everything you need to know. A lot of people loved it. Some people also didn't love it quite as much. And that's the end of it. If you want to improve your knowledge on MyAnimeList, I've linked 2 videos. One about how the number 1 spot has changed over time. Going into more of like the technical aspects and just the sheer amount of shows that stay there for 5 minutes and then never really return. The other one making fun of some pretty questionable users, narrated by a man with a very lovely Dutch accent. He doesn't make videos anymore, but I really miss him. Benjamin, he was great. Check them out if you'd like. Read a good book and have a nice winter.